Good evening, everybody who's joining us for our Shabbat evening worship at the Cape Cod Synagogue, both on Zoom and on our many streaming services. You might be with us on Facebook or YouTube or our synagogue website. Wherever you have found us, we're so glad that you did. If you're not a member of the synagogue, I'd encourage you to find out more about it at capecodsynagogue.org and find out how you can become a part of this vibrant spiritual community and help support us in supporting each other. If you are a member, we thank you for your ongoing support and dedication to this Kehillah Kedoshah, the sacred community. May we go from strength to strength. We're trying something new tonight with our Shabbat evening worship. I felt that everything was going really well up till now, so we might complicate it a little further. You're going to find on your screen now all of the prayers. So everything is going to be right in front of you. And hopefully this is going to work perfectly. We tried a little bit of this last week, not as successfully, but we're going to give it a shot. We begin with song Dodi Li. Dodi Li Bani Lo Haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li Dodi Li Bani Lo Haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li Mizotola Min Hamidbar Mizotola Min Hamidbar Dodi Li Bani Lo Haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li Mikuteret Moru Levona Dodi Li Dodi Li Bani Lo Haroeh Bashoshanim Dodi Li Bashoshanim Dodi Li. We continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. You'll find the brachot right in front of you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Amen. Our Shabbat evening Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh Bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta Mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodsecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
We continue with words from the 95th Psalm, Lechu Neranana.
Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana ladonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana ladonai. Naria, letzur yish enu nikadma, panav bitoda. Naria, letzur yish enu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana ladonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana ladonai.
We continue with Lecha Dodi. Just as a chidush, something new, I tried to put some thematic material behind each of the verses as we sing them. For those of you who have been to Tzfat, you may recognize the sun setting. And this is where this hymn, this psalm, this ode to the Sabbath bride came from.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'letchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki makor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzei mitocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha, Vehu yachamol alayechem lam. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitna'ari me'afar kumi, Livshi bigdei tif'artech ami, Al yad ben Yishai beit halachmi, Korva al nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hit'oreri, Kiva orech, Kumi ori, Uri, Shir daberi, Kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha uv'tzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 We take a few moments now as we exhale. We let go of this last week. We welcome into our hearts a sense of peace, a sense of rest, a sense of blessing on this holy day of Shabbat. This Shabbat is Shabbat Terumah. In it is the Torah portion wherein Moses is given the command from God to take up a collection and find the appropriate people to build the tabernacle, an indwelling place for God in the wilderness. And of course, it begs the question, who are we to build a place for God? We make a mistake if we ask ourselves, am I good enough? Or is it worthwhile to be me? Who ever heard of a baby who was inadequate? Or a child who did not know just exactly how to be a child? How could it not be all right for me to be me? How could it not be just right for you to be you? We continue with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kariv imeru. Amen. Yehesh me Rabba mevarach, le'alam ulalme almaya. Yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei de kudesha, brichu le'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed. Alone, I marvel at the evening sky. Gold caressing blue, blue caressing dark. Here in prayer, I need to see your hand behind the sky, your creative words once more forming light into darkness. I need to see the care with which you carved the moon, the stars, which make of fearful darkness nurturing night. The mixture that brings evening forth from day, morning from night, has been shaped like Adam from the earth, by you. You who mixes in the evening, you are praised. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We are surrounded by a great love. We are cared for by a deep compassion. We yearn for the truths that our forebears accepted through trust and faith, and mercy reaches out to us. We receive understanding that we can learn and teach, listen, guard, and fulfill the truth, all in love. Our eyes shine with the teachings, and our hearts cling to the path. Hearts so filled with love and awe that we can never be ashamed. Thanks and blessings to the love that reaches out to us. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. The words of the Shema through which we affirm the unity of God and of all humanity. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Once we were in bondage, then we were free. In that first liberation, our people saw revealed the power of the Most High. They perceived that God's presence redeems time and event from the hands of tyrants. We too affirm the power that makes for freedom. We sing the song that celebrates our deliverance from Egypt and all bondage. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, מלכותך ובניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל. Okay. We continue with Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmo tzeitenu uvoenu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
l'chaim. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. We continue with our Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magein, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye metim ata rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hametim. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukedoshim becho yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose.
May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato litzion. In this silence, I do not call to you, my God. I do not call out at all. Instead, for an instant of openness, I offer, not demand. I surrender, just for a moment. Instead of asking for my needs or of challenging you our usual way, I am quiet and available to you. You. I am here. I am open. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lach na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol eit uv'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. I invite you to some quiet moments this Shabbat evening for the prayers your heart alone knows. I believe in time. It's only a matter of time that we will all live in peace. I believe in time. It's only a matter of time that we will all live in peace. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. I believe in time. It's only a matter of time that we will all live in peace. I believe in time. It's only a matter of time. Go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Still dealing with some technical stuff here. Pardon me. I mentioned earlier, we are in Shabbat Terumah, but it's not just Shabbat Terumah. It's also Shabbat Zachor, so named for the Maftir. Each of the special Shabbatot leading up to this point and afterwards, there are 4 special Shabbatot before Passover comes. Last week was Shabbat Shekalim. This week, Shabbat Zachor. The Maftir talks about Amalek. You all remember Amalek, don't you? On our way out of Egypt, Amalek was the tribe with no fear of God who waited until after we had passed through in the wilderness and fell upon the back of the camp. The elderly, the sick, the weak, and they slaughtered them. It was only through the resilience of our people and the strength of God that we defeated them. And so we find this week we remember Amalek. Why do we remember Amalek? Well, Purim is coming up on Thursday, and so Zachor is always the Shabbat before Purim, to remind us of all those people throughout the generations who, like Amalek, have tried to destroy our people. Haman, the great villain of our Purim story, is said to have been a descendant of Amalek. So we have this strange passage in Deuteronomy that's added on to our weekly Torah portion that tells us, remember what Amalek did to you with no fear of God. Remember how they fell upon your weak and the stragglers. And remember, once you get into the land and you're secure, remember to blot their memory out. Don't forget. It's a very strange thing. There's a commentary on this passage, this sentence in the Torah that I thought shed some light at least. It's from a work called Shnei Luchot HaBrit, the 2 tablets of the covenant, by Rabbi Isaiah Horowitz, a figure from the 16th century. And when he looks at this, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. Lo tishkach, don't forget. Remember and don't forget. How can those 2 things go together? This is what Horowitz says. I have found that the Torah, in fact, divides this commandment into 2 halves. When the Jewish people are politically independent and strong, the part of the commandment we're obligated to fulfill is to wipe out the memory of Amalek. When we're politically impotent, we must still fulfill the part of the commandment which bids us not to forget. One performs this part by cursing the name of Amalek and what the nation stands for. So if we're in power, then we can go ahead and blot out the memory. If we're out of power, then we will remember and remember what was done to us. It seems like a program almost for perpetual vengeance, doesn't it? We've all heard the summary of Jewish holidays. They tried to kill us. We won. Let's eat. And perhaps this is another iteration of that old saw, but I think there's more to it. Because we know across the millennia what Horowitz knew. We spent a lot longer impotent, powerless, than we have with power. The miracle of the last 73 years in Israel notwithstanding, forgive me, it's our experience of exile has been one of powerlessness, where we could do little better than raise our fists and curse the name. But now that we have come into power, I wonder, should we aim for a little bit more than blotting people's memories out? A program of perpetual vengeance is no good for anybody. And we all know, as has been stated many times, we never make peace with our friends. We make peace with our enemies. We know things shift in history. And we pray, at least on this front, that Israel will look forward wisely, as they have, and make peace every time that they can. Not simply raise the hand and curse or blot out a memory. And I think, too, of what it means in our own country, because we know, too, that political power shifts back and forth. We just had a shift this last year, and likely in another 2 years, another shift, and in another 2 years, another shift. So we take turns being in power and being powerlessness. I fear that too many of us these days fall into Horowitz's paradigm. When we're in power, we try and wipe out the other people. And when we're out of power, all we can do is curse the names of those in power. We should be aiming for a little bit more. Amalek was a horror who would feast on the weak. And there is no place for those people in our society. They must be opposed. But we also know that even the worst sinner in our tradition should have a shot at redemption. The people who go astray, if we push away with one hand, we must pull back with the other. So in this week of Purim, and in the Shabbat of Zachor, let us remember. Let us remember the terrible deeds done in the past. Let us remember the sufferings of our ancestors unto this very day. But also let us remember the vision of the prophets for a future of peace, where all nations will come together as one, even what's left of Amalek. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Misha Berach. Give me one moment. We pray for the following members of our community and those who are part of our larger family this evening. Our prayers are with Malka Freda Bat Fegebrucha, Mary Ellen Harvey, Wally Mahoney, Don White, Wolfie, Janice Smith, Amy Fiorino, Sarah Bat Brachalea, Lucas Vincent, Nechama Basha Bat Elka, Leah Harav Ruvain Shlomo Ben Leah, Megan Bat Florence Ve'ema, Suzanne and Bob Kittredge, Chana Bat Bracha, Heather Strauss, Kathy Gigante Brown, Sinya Pinchbach, Evelyn Payne, Thomas Potter, Carol Glory Fitz, Steve Sugarman, David Cutler, Ronald Montecone Jr., the Garrison family, Myra Vachon, Paul Reese, Andre Hari Gutter, Shia Ben Shmuel, Len Jaffe, Avis Stein, Evelyn Silver, Kathy Leonard, Isaac Clayman, Jerry Gerhard, Harriet Aronson, Bryna Curley, Stephen Silverstein, Mary Jane Bush, Murray Gellin, Robert Arnowit, Violet Lavenda, Nate Ladley, Barry Klickstein, Nathan Dankin, Michelle Dickens-Weil, Michael Melanik, Linda Stern, Elaine Gardner, Stacia Ryan, Kathy Sachs, Avram Ben-Zlata, Kristen Walsh. Mi sheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. May God send blessing and healing to every soul in need. We say Amen. We turn to Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. B'ne'emar v'haya Adonai melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Our thoughts turn to our loved ones who have left us in years past at this season. We remember those whose yahrzeits occur in this week. Ann Chiat, Regina Dickens, Frances Harris, Burton Kaplan, Bertha Kittredge, Gladys Mallon, Samuel Pactovis, and Harold Perkins. If there are others whom we should remember at this time, please send their names along in the chat. We continue with the words of Kaddish. Anna Scheinkopf, we continue with the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai echon u'v'yom echon. V'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kari v'yimru Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. We remember also Rosalind Chayat. May God who causes peace to reign in the heavens above bring a measure of that peace and comfort to everyone who grieves. And we say, Amen. Okay. It's my pleasure to welcome to our virtual pulpit our president, Jennifer Rako.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom. It's nice to see everybody this evening. We've got a nice large group here today on Zoom, and hello to those of you on the live stream. So let's see. I mentioned last week that we had quite a few things coming up the last week of the month, and I guess we're just about there. So I'm going to go over some of those things. Let's see. So right now here we are, Friday night Shabbat services, and tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, you can use the same Zoom link for those of you that use that to get here today to join the rabbi for Shabbat morning services with Torah study. And then tomorrow night, we have the Havdalah service, which was very popular last month. So we're doing it again. That link already went out today, so you should have it. Please reach out to me if for some reason you didn't get it. And that will be tomorrow at 6:30, same time as we've been having services. And then on Thursday, we have Purim, including the Purim Spiel. And it's going to be something I think really fantastic. So I hope that you all will attend. That link has not gone out yet, but that will be Thursday, February 25th at 6:30. And we have quite a few members, especially some of our younger members, who are putting together a wonderful spiel for you. And I won't give you a lot more details, although it does appear in the bulletin. But again, I hope that you'll come and support everyone on next Thursday. Again, that's the 25th at 6:30. And lastly, I should mention the things that I mention every week. I kind of skipped over them, but every Tuesday I still do Join Jen at 10. The link goes out the day before, or I guess it goes out on Sundays. Same link every week. Love to see you. Just drop by for any questions or whatever you need. You're also welcome to reach out to me one-on-one if you have something personal that you need to talk about that you don't want to do in the group. And then the rabbi also has Torah study on Thursdays, which is at 11:30, and that link usually goes out the day before. But I also wanted to mention that a week from this Sunday, so that's February 28th, 2 o'clock, we're having a very special Sunday Fun Day. There'll be more information about it coming out, but you have had some information in the bulletin already. So I'm hoping that you will attend many of these things going on. It's kind of a crazy 10 days. February seems like a very short month. I guess actually it is, but it's really nice to see everyone. I understand that we have done very well with our community, with people that are 75 and older having their vaccines, which is really exciting. And I know now it's opened up to the decade below, which is a little more crazy right now, but I'm sure that it's all going to slowly eventually work out for everyone. So again, nice to see you all. Stay safe. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Our closing song, Yedid Nefesh, which you'll find here. I just wanted to see. Oh, of course not. All right.
we are. Pardon me.
ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, משוכב לך אל רצונך, ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל, ישתחווה מול הדרך, ירב לו ידידותך, מנופת צוף בכל טעם. אדוני זיו העולם, נפשי חולת אהבתך, אנא אל נא רפאה לה, בהרות לה נועם זיווך, אז תתחזק ותתרפא, והייתה לה שמחת עולם. ותקיימו נרחמך בחוסנל בן אהובך, כי זה כמה נכסוף נחשפתי לראות בתפארת עוזך, אנא לי חמדת ליבי, חוסנה נא תתעלם. היגלנה ופרוס חביבי עלי את סוכת שלומך, תאיר ארץ מכבודך, נגילה ונשמחה בך, מהר ההוא כי במועד בכוננו כמי עולם. לי 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 Shabbat Shalom to everybody who's joining us on our streaming services. We're going to say goodnight. Please join us again soon for more synagogue activities. We love having you be a part of our sacred community. For those of you who are on our Zoom call, just hang on one moment while I turn off the live stream and we can hang out for a little bit of Oneg Shabbat on Zoom.